So welcome to this episode of Make Some Noise. I'm Doug Jong, and we have some awesome people on tonight discussing the re-emergence of live music, being busking and open mics. So if you have any questions, please make sure you maybe type them in so we can see what's going on. And I've got some social things here that I always do at the end of the show, so I should do at the front of the show. So there it is. That's the name of the show, Make Some Noise with me, and that's my Facebook thing. Here's my YouTube thing, and that's a COVID thing. And so here we go. If you have any questions, please ask. Hello, Veronica, how are you? So it's completely interactive. So if you type something, it will come up on the screen, and we will answer your questions with all this collective of heaps of experience right now. So let's welcome everyone along. Say hello, Crispy, how are you, sir? We've got Kelly and Carl.
G'day, Doug. How are you, mate?
Hello. Good, thank you. And we have Wes and Lance. How are you? And Jody. Can everyone hear me all right still?
G'day, Doug. How are you, mate?
G'day,
Good. So maybe first up, I'll get Kelly and Carl to do the intros about who you are, what you do, and more importantly, where you might do it. So here we go.
Hey guys, I'm Carl, this is Kelly, and Jody down the bottom, which you'll hear from later. We're from self-managed artists, it's entertainment. We do a lot of busking on the coast, and help a lot of artists out with opportunities, and also got open mics to run as well. So yeah, we've got some interesting things to show you guys tonight. So if you're artists looking for work, stick around and see if we can help you out.
Awesome. And Kelly, did you want to add anything to that, man?
No.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. And we might just go straight to Jody. Do you want to just expand on, let me click the right button. Here we go. To Jody, did you want to expand on that and where you're from and what you might do?
Well, I'm the third party of self-managed artists. So I do look after all the financial onboarding side of things. So if anybody wants to get into the busking scene with self-managed artists, reach out to Kelly, and then you'll be talking to me later on with your onboarding. So
awesome, man. Cool. Well, welcome. Thank you very much for jumping on. And next we have Crispy. So you want to tell us what you might do and where you might do it?
Hey guys, Crispy. I'm from Cover Shot Jam Sessions. We used to run a few jams down at the Commercial Hotel and the All Sports in the Rang. That all folded up, but we've got a new one starting this week down at the Currumbin Vikings Surf Club on a Thursday night. Goes a little bit later. I know Carl's got one not far off around the corner, I believe. So
awesome.
Hopefully people head there and then also maybe come up to ours afterwards or something like that.
And awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks for jumping on. And here we have and Lance and Wes, and they look like they've turned the lights off. So, hey, Lance and Wes, are you there? No. Come in, Lance and Wes. It's going to be hard to find your saxophone in the dark there. Anyway, you get that. Okay, so maybe the first round of question then, if we go really, really quickly. So maybe the first band that you went to see, what kind of merchandise did you buy? And I'll get to a point of this very, very... Oh, they're back. But we'll just answer my question first. So maybe Kelly and Carl, what's the first point of merchandise that you bought when you went and saw a band?
I went to George Thorogood and bought a George Thorogood t-shirt.
T-shirt?
Yeah, it's probably about 12, so it's more like a 90 than a t-shirt, but yeah.
Awesome. And Kelly, what about yourself?
Dire Straits, 1984, Western Springs at Northern, and there wasn't more than enough to buy me.
Awesome. And Crispy? Oh, right. Okay, cool. And Crispy, what did you get? And your first gig that you went to?
I would have been about 10 years old. My sister took me to a Bon Jovi concert and absolutely loved it. Biggest influence after that. Not a big fan nowadays, but certainly early on they were huge.
Okay, cool. And what merchandise did you buy? Did you buy some merchandise?
I was 10. I had no money, so I couldn't buy nothing.
Okay.
Sister got the book and the t-shirt.
Fair enough. So there's a point I'm getting to. So there's a method to the madness. And hello, there we go. There's a Kelly Penny. There we go, Veronica. And Jody, what was your first gig and first piece of merchandise you bought? Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you didn't.
No, I think that the first concert I ever went to was Stevie Wonder. That was back in the sort of mid to late 70s. But the only merchandise I bought was food, mate, and it's continued to this day.
Okay. I've never heard food as a merchandise. That's actually quite clever.
That's it, mate.
And
for the keepsake.
no, not left.
Every time to shave, I suppose.
Cool. I think we've lost Wes and Lance and Wes. So if you're listening, maybe go to a different room in the house. So let's. So the reason I asked that question, and I've got a thing here. What was yours? Well, the first, maybe as a kid, maybe the first band I actually bought their record was Deep Purple, and I couldn't afford the ticket. But actually, one of the first bands I think I saw was probably Millionaires and Teddy Bears back in the day, where they had a mini touring rig. Anyway, my point is, it's the experience you go to look at. So even though you might focus on a memorabilia item, the merchandise comes after the experience. That was my point. And here we have Wes and... No, we don't. So I've just answered that question there for Kelly, and mics are a bit muffled. Border Brothers, yeah, they've got internet situation there. So unpacking open mics, because I'm sure you're all gurus of that, and the Border Brothers are stuck at the border, it looks like. But if you can hear me, Wes and Lance, maybe go to a different room in the house to get a different Wi-Fi adjustment. So maybe Kelly and Carl, before we talk about the self-managed artist situations, what's your experience and pros and cons of doing open mics?
I've been running open mics now for 5 years, so I've had a few, done a few comps. A lot of the artists that are actually playing with us now, the self-managed artists, come from those open mic nights that I've met through competition, and made some great friends. The community that you get with open mic nights is so good, and even a lot of the artists that I've seen start from nothing to what they are now is amazing. And that's all. You can't beat live performances, and at open mic nights you get a chance to do it without knowing 3 hours worth of stuff. You can get in there and start out with a couple songs and build your repertoire from there.
Yep. Okay. And what about yourself, Kel?
Mate, I'm a hooey dog. They call it hooey dog in New Zealand. I get to every open mic that I can possibly make because I love it. And
awesome.
That's what I met him at the early Sound 7. It was open mic there. Was it over a year ago?
Way over a year ago.
Yeah, right. And I guess, yep.
And that's where I met Crispy. That's where I met Leah. I met every single person on this panel, including you, Doug.
Yeah.
At an open mic.
Yes. Yeah.
You were open mic, Doug.
Yeah.
What's that? Sorry.
I met you at my open mic too.
Yes, and that's I'm an advocate. I think that's very, very important for any kind of maybe, as I was getting back to before about the experience of live music, because it's not just technical. And don't get me wrong, I love the tech playing, but it's what we're doing right here. It's about the socializing of some aspect. And maybe Crispy. So what's some feedback on your open mic that you run? What you might do different there. How does it look when you actually run your open mic?
Well, we've run a few different types. The best scenario was the one with the full band, and the ability to mix and match. Have people from various, people would shake hands and play some great music on the spot. Having never met each other before. Quite often everyone ends up playing a 12-bar blues, but it's still fun and interactive. But the best thing out of it is the mates and the people that you meet. Certainly something I've missed this last year. So good to get some open mics back. Definitely, it's the catch ups and the friendships. And
okay, cool.
And that, yeah,
that's cool, man. I'm just zooming in. I don't usually zoom in, but I don't know where they've gone now, just so we could see Carl. But that's sort of worked out perfect now.
Yeah.
And Jody, just to get your feedback on open mics.
Yeah, the open mics. I've only just recently started in with the open mics. It's where I met up with Carl, and then Kelly as well. 2018, I started up an online singing competition called NetSing, and
Oh,
then
wow.
I ended up rocking down at the Palm Beach Soccer Club and bumped into Carl and introduced myself and say, hey, you got any people interested in entering this competition? So, and that's where we sort of kicked off, our friendship and now the business and, getting down, supporting open mics and, all the talented people that are starting to come through. It's been awesome.
Yeah, and when you said you started an internet singing competition,
Yeah.
how did you do that? Like, where did that idea come from? That sounds really interesting.
Back in 2018, I was importing home audio Bluetooth speakers, and
Oh,
it
wow.
was a sort of a way of sort of brand awareness and just something different, something about advertising but I also love music. My whole family's the backgrounds in music and I just went out there and had a look around for people with music studios and
Yep.
said, hey, you want to jump on board and then and it just moved forward from there.
Okay. That's really, really cool. Oh, you're right, Crispy. You fell over.
Yeah, mate. I've got to get moving now. So
Okay, that's cool, man. Well, thank you, but
good
thanks
to
for
see you
dropping.
guys. Hope to catch us all up soon at a venue and be good to hear some live music again. So
All right. No,
yeah.
no,
All right.
no
Take
problem
care,
at all.
everyone.
Thank you. See you later, sir. Whoops. I think I hit the button there too quick. And I think Wes and Nat are there. Are you there, Wes?
Have they got a border pass?
Yep.
Sorry?
They got a
Okay.
border pass?
Have they got a border pass? I'm not sure. Good question, though. Have you got a border pass to be
Always.
on here tonight, Wes? Always.
Yep.
And what about Wes? Maybe
Sure
just
do.
get your feedback on because I do want to unpack about the whole busking situation, but I just wanted to ask you about what's your take on a open mic, sir?
What's my take on an open mic?
Yes.
It's it's a bit of a networking thing.
Good word. Good word.
It's all about the musos getting together, and I've picked up a lot of work by going to open mics, just going to different people, and it's good, that's how you get experience too. You become a better player by going along and meeting
And
different
working with other people. Yeah. Research and you can write down and take some notes. Okay, cool, man. And what about Lance? Is he in the house there, or he's?
Yeah. He went to go and get some earphones, but I found some more.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I found another pair.
Is he still white? So, where do you run your open mic there, Lance? Where can people come and find you?
At the moment, I'm at the Chicken Leagues Club.
Okay.
In Queensland, there, Boyd Road, I'm pretty sure. This will probably be my 6th open mic now. There. After my last club had been cancelled due to COVID and financial situations. So So I'm at the Chicken Leagues Club at the moment, and it's great.
Okay, cool.
It's a great outdoor
Okay.
area. Awesome people.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And so, I guess getting back to now, if we unpack a little bit about the whole busking thing, has the Border Brothers have done busking as well? Is that what you're currently doing?
Yeah, we only did a show not too long ago for a grand opening up at Rainbow Beach. A guy named Jeffy, who's just started up some busking at the moment. So, he's looking for a lot of buskers out there. He's looking for a lot of people to entertain, more like the Jack Johnson kind of feel. It's a beach surfy area, so a lot of traffic going around that area. So, we had fun there. We
Okay,
had
cool.
fun. Yeah.
So I guess the upshot is that all of you, all running open mics of some descript, you actually get a finger on the pulse of up and coming artists, right? Which leads to my next thing that I'd like to unpack is the whole busking situation, which I know you guys are actually, doing really, really well. So is that all right to maybe unpack that and let us know what that might look like? Who's the best to start with that?
Okay.
Do you want to?
Go, Cal. You're up, Cal.
Back in March, it all started with Kelly, really. Kelly told
I
me
started with Kelly. Yeah, right.
told me to come do some busking. Jody and I were working on something else that was a little bit more like a management role.
Yeah.
Kelly was busking and loved it, and all of a sudden we're not formed a business out of it. So actually never had formed a business out of it. So,
Yeah, right. You just have to speak a little bit louder, sorry, because it sounds a little bit like a reverb on. That's it. Cool. And so Kelly, so you're the brains behind this. This is cool. So how did that come about? Like, where did you get influenced about how to set up a busking business? That's cool.
Well, I just had a lot of gigs at the start of February, like everybody else, at the start of March. Like I was fully booked up until the end of September. And for about 2 weeks, I just watched people losing their gigs around me, and I don't know why I wasn't. And then all of a sudden, in 2 days, I lost over 150 gigs in 2 days.
You lost 150 gigs in 2 days. Wow.
No, 100.
Yeah. Oh, 100. Sorry. Yeah, 100 gigs in 2 days.
Yeah. I was booked right up to the end of February, September.
Yeah.
And I just went out to the Carrara Woolies supermarket.
Yep.
And I was put on to the centre manager for the place, who wanted me to make sure I had 30 million public liability insurance, and just gave me a warning that if I was too loud, she'd give me the boot.
Well.
And then, thankfully, she didn't give me the boot, and then put me into all the other systems she was operating.
Okay.
And then I did that for a little while and sort of just did a bit of research about it, and I ended up being in Carl because I knew he was in a similar situation to me. And just said, look, I think you should go busking. This is where I've been doing it. And at first, you know, like even I was a little bit low busking.
Skeptical, or?
No, I wasn't so much skeptical, you know. Like, when I knew the income I was deriving from full-time professional work, and then I thought, you know, can I really supplement or replace that through busking? And it turned out, became apparent within 3 or 4 days that yes, I could, and yes, I did. And then I let Carl know, and we formulated a plan and hatched a plan to start this business with Jody.
Yep.
And now, you know, we've got quite a substantial operation now as a result.
Yeah. Well, here we go. We have a feedback already on what busking. In my mind, I see busking as something done in the tunnel to Brisbane Station or outside my local shopping centre. The guitar case open for coins. Okay, that's cool. And because we'll talk about, you know, preconceptions, and because I'm just interested about getting the business off the ground. And Jody, did you want to add anything else about getting the idea? So Kelly hatched the idea and then maybe engage with you to try and get it bigger and better?
Yeah, well, Cal had been obviously doing his homework and, you know, having a look at these centres and what was possible. He approached Carl, and then they approached me, and like Carl and myself, we already had something, you know, that we were starting up, but, you know, it was just, you know, we were sort of just getting it off the ground, and Kelly come up with this awesome idea, and we just teamed up and just went for it, you know. So it's been amazing. Just very thankful.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I do have, and I'll come to the Border Brothers in a sec. I've got a question here just before we start unpacking how to engage this. Do you need a license to busk?
Not in our model.
Okay.
I saw one of the earlier comments too about, you know, that person's image of busking was someone sitting in a train station tunnel playing for coins.
Right.
That was definitely the traditional stereotype, but you know, I sort of took a very pragmatic approach to it. Like, I'm a full-time pro music, and that's how I should be marketing myself to these places, as not a busker, because, you know, I got a lot of rejection because of that. You know, there's a stigma attached to buskers, and there are some not so good. or
Yeah.
some enjoyable ones and some that aren't perhaps enjoyable as much as others. And so I just made pretty much a business case and said, look, I'm not a busker, I'm a full-time pro music. I play in some of the best venues on the Gold Coast, and that's the quality of music I want to bring to your centres. And when I pitched it in that way, I am exactly what that person's stereotypical belief of busking was. It's just essentially in a different location. What would have been, don't get me wrong, if I had no choice, I'd have been in the train station tunnel game. But it
Right.
turned out, like I said, just applied a business case to it.
Yep.
Approach people that has been a good reason to at least have a go rather than rejecting that. I got a lot of it.
Yeah, I like what you said there about having a different approach to, maybe reconceptualize a stigma. I like that idea. And I've got a question here. So that was the first question. Do you need a license? So, and as you said, in this model, not so much. And like to see buskers in Queen Street more.
The answer to that, though, is if you want to busk if you want to busk in Circus Paradise or any of the malls that you do need a license, you have to apply to the government for a license. The problem with their model is not only do you need a license, you have to have an interview, which they don't have very often, but after 45 minutes they make you move on. So in our model, you get 4 hours on that slot. So,
Oh wow! So it's like a private
and we're in
busking thing.
It's
Air
private,
conditioning,
yeah.
yes.
So, and what we are, we're professional musos, and we put you in high traffic areas in shopping centres. So you've got security, you've got air conditioning, you've got a spot that's yours. You're not going to have security kick you out, chase you up. If anyone gives you trouble, you've got security there to take them out.
Yep.
Which we've never had any trouble yet. We've done over 1,000 gigs now.
That's the important point too, Doug. We've done over 1,000 gigs since we
Really?
properly.
With the busking, you've done.
Business.
All right. The business. Okay. Yeah. The business. Yeah. Right. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
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 All right. And we got. Yeah. Wow. I'll get to that question in a second, Veronica. But yeah. Wow. So that. Well, obviously the model's working on both sides of the fence then. So obviously for the musicians, as you said, you have a good. It's air conditioned. There's security. Also, too, I guess as an audience participation, they can choose whether they're going to be there or not, right? So, if you go to a pub with your, friends and family and you're sort of stuck with the entertainment, I guess in busking, the shoppers can just move on, right? They don't have to, they can stay by choice. And the other important thing that you said is 4 hours, because like if you do it through the council, that kind of exposure for 45 minutes, that's actually... how many gigs do you have to do throughout the day to get some kind of income? Yeah. And
the other thing with that, Doug, is that let's say you've got your 45 minutes and after 40 minutes you've got a hot crowd throwing money at you. Yeah. 15 minutes later you've got to vacate because you've got people standing there waiting to get onto that spot. So they're picking up the heat that you generated as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm speaking to people in Sydney, buskers in Sydney that have come into our model because we're in Sydney as well.
Oh, wow.
It's not uncommon for buskers in Sydney to be on a site lined up. Yes, it is different in each state, but it's not uncommon for buskers in Sydney to be lined up at 1 a.m. in the morning to get onto their spot at 1 in the afternoon.
Wow.
Some of those spots in Pitt Street, for instance, those spots are so hot that everybody's lining up for them. But those guys, they need a busking permit. They need to pay for exorbitant Sydney parking fees, and then even then, they've got to haul the best part of a kilometre there to that site. No security. No security. All that sort of stuff there.
Yeah. Yeah. So it says here, and I've just. Yeah. Right. This is really cool because like you're actually discussing and highlighting, a perspective that I didn't even really think about at all. Like, I think that's really, really great about, especially what you just said then, Kelly, like when you're playing in a hot spot per se, like in Pitt Street in Sydney, like, yeah, parking is an issue. And then if you're going to public transport it, if you take your gear in, as a typical muso, you take $5,000 worth of gear in a $500 car for a $50 gig, But anyway, I just like the concept there. that you're actually unpacking that there's a lot. It makes a lot of sense for the musician. You don't have to really. There's not a lot of risk with that. You don't have to have outgoing cash for parking and other inconveniences. But we got a conception here. Some buskers are often assumed to be homeless, looking for money or to feed themselves to buy alcohol. So maybe Wes or Lance, what do you think about that? Do you want to? What do you think of that perspective? Wes and Lance, what do you think about that? Do you agree or disagree? You're allowed to do either.
Buskers. Yeah. Well, first bust, I wasn't getting alcohol.
Yeah, so do you agree or disagree? I think we've got a lag there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Lance, do you got anything to say to that?
$80 in a couple of hours. But,
okay.
no.
And I think we got a lag there. I'll come back. And what about Lance? Can you hear me, Lance? What's your perspective of that? Do you agree or disagree?
But yeah, not all buskers are. Sorry.
Does Lance agree or disagree? No.
With
what's on the screen?
Well, I guess that some buskers could probably try and they're doing it for to buy some grog, but
I think there might be internet lag. That's cool. I'll come back to you, Ez. I'll come back to you, and maybe Jody. What do you think of that perspective? Do you agree or disagree, Jody?
Oh, knowing what I know now through our setup with the busking, before, you did get some buskers out there who are, looking to get some coin to go and buy a flagon or something, a couple of, packet of smokes or something like that. But these days it's changed. Councils block down on a lot of things. Busking has become more professional. You just got to look at our model at the moment, that Kelly and Carl have set up. They've, we've got professional musicians now put in a situation where they're earning money to pay their bills and, pay rent, buy food, in a busking situation. But it's still professional musicians. We're not looking at, it's about appearance as well, how people, perceive what someone looks like. This is, there was a stigma with buskers, they're scrounging money for this and that, but it's starting to change, and this COVID situation's really turned it around.
Yeah, because in America, from the many times that I've been to the States, they actually in Nashville, I can say this happens, and actually I think I saw it in LA as well. There's a tipping system, so the covers bands don't actually play for a fixed fee, and it's not set by the bar. So actually in LA, they have situations where it's pay to play. So you pay to engage on that little piece of spot, whatever you got, stage, then it's up to you to generate the business. So it definitely sets and sorts out the boys from the men very, very quickly. But in Nashville, a covers band on Broadway, and I can say this because a friend of mine still plays these, well, probably not right now with COVID, but a covers band has an 8-hour slot, not 4, 8. And so, it'd be non-stop. So they don't actually have break music. So what would happen is they'd take turns. Someone would do an acoustic song while everyone goes and has a bathroom break or a dinner break or whatever. But they need to keep it going. But they need to they run it as a team, and they get, boys or girls doing laps to get tips. So it's not so much asking for donations. They use a different language of tipping, because in America they have a tipping culture. So yeah. But I'm just saying, I think it's great that you guys are actually pushing the envelope and trying to do something and provide a model that's safe and clean for people who actually care about making awesome music. That's really, really good. So maybe I've got a couple of questions here. If I knew enough songs, I could make a killing. Maybe you should, man. You should talk to these guys and do some gigs. And And is it possible to have something similar to Bluesberry Cafe and Can't Stop the Blues, where artists perform online and money be donated directly via PayPal? So I think you guys have engaged in electronic ways. Does someone want to explain how that
Well,
works?
look, in regards to that question, though, to do it online, what we found when we're doing in COVID online is the people watching it on the other musos were all broke, so no one really donated. I think in the beginning we made a fair bit of money online in those live mics, and then it just stopped. We were all broke. So the advantage we got where we are in front of shopping centres, in front of the Woolworths, your Coles, your high traffic areas, people coming out with chump change. They give you chump change, and it all adds up. You know, if you've got 2,000 people walking past and they're putting a couple of bucks in here and there, it all adds up.
So, and this question directly about donating via digital.
That's more about online cafe. So performing online for money, that's different. We do have a PayPal thing on our banner, so we have a banner for security reasons with a picture and SMA and payment on it, self-managed artist, and it has a PayPal QR code. So for people without money who don't have cash, they can make a deposit via the QR code to our PayPal. So,
And
yeah.
in all of your experience, what kind of ratio are we talking about? Real cash versus digital money gets donated? Is it like 70-30 or?
Way more cash. It'd be
More like 95-5.
95-5.
Okay.
One of our artists in Sydney, he has a tap and go, which you need an Android to use. He sets it at $5 or $10 depending on the venue. He has made a fair bit of money with the tap and go.
So when you say tap and go, you mean like a little square?
Little square.
Yeah, because I got one of those. Yeah, right.
You need
Cool.
an Android to operate it. So I've just gone to Android. Oh dear. Anyway, bust it out, Dave. Look out. Bust it.
So it says here, some people tip out of the goodness of their hearts. So I think no matter where you play or sound, it's the depth of the pockets. What's your thoughts?
It's not the depth of the pockets, but it's the depth of the heart.
Yeah.
Like we play in one of the lowest socioeconomic suburbs in Western Brisbane, and we've found consistently over 15 weeks now, they are the most generous donators of all the places we've played. And like
Wow.
I say, we've played collectively now over 1,000 gigs in 15 weeks, and our experience shows that it's not how much money you've got, it's how much money you will give because of the side of your heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the
That's
artists,
amazing.
Some of our artists consistently earn a lot of money, and some of our artists earn okay money. 99% of them have replaced their income from their standard gigs, so that's how much they earn. But the ones that earn a lot of money, they're those artists. And it doesn't matter what you do, people pay for good musicianship. So we can't just get someone from open mic that's going to sing 3 songs okay, because they'll wreck the business. So our motto is they're professional out-of-work musicians that we can say, when I put them in any centre, or Kelly Markinson puts them in any centre, we don't get a call saying, Kelly, can you come and get this guy out now? And
Right. So that's right. So you're actually looking for a long-term reputation, not just short-term fix.
Yeah, we've saved a lot of people. We've got over 100 artists working for us now. For our, Melbourne hasn't kicked off yet due to COVID, so we're in Sydney and in Queensland. And reputation is everything. We want this to last because we've saved a lot of lives. There's a lot of musos out there. Not only have they replaced their income, but we can offer them gigs 7 days a week, 2 times a day. So you can play 14 times a week, those 4-hour blocks that we give you. And how much money do you want to make? It's totally up to you how much work you want to put in it. So,
wow.
Normal gigs are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you're out every night, getting home at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm now at home with my kids every day. I drop them to school, I go and do a gig at a centre, and I come home and pick them up from school, and I've earned twice as much as I would have had I done those standard gigs.
Yeah, and that's a really, really, really good different way of looking at it too. You're doing what you love on the on time, not the off time. Because working hospitality, your life is completely flip side to someone else working 9 to 5.
Now it's a
and I've just
job.
That's really, really interesting. Yeah, right. I've got a question here. Maybe someone can chime. I don't know where Wes and Lance is. I don't know. With the Facebook group with the buskers. Sorry, Jody, it's cut your head off there.
No worries.
In its name in the open mic group, I've been unsure what shares would be accepted. Is there a guideline what's being considered? Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a standard on tipping, but I think you maybe said that before. Like with the tap and go, you can actually, set what's actually going to be contributed. And it says here, I've got no matter what, I take my hat off to artists trying to access an income from playing. Kudos to all. Yeah, from playing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Just on that,
Yeah.
that tip in the orange cake.
Yep.
I get 5 cents sometimes. Sometimes I get $5.
Yep.
But it's like going back to that thing before, it's the size of a hat.
Yeah.
And I've had some incredibly generous donations over, where that place that I was telling you about, the low socialization in the area.
Wow.
I hadn't even.
That's good.
I'd opened my case and was sitting up. And I hadn't played a note yet, and when I started, I found $200 in my case.
What? Before you even started?
It wasn't a one-off thing; it's a regular occurrence.
Wow.
Not just with
That's
me.
amazing.
Everybody across the board.
Wow.
Before I played a note, and I sent these guys a photo of it too. Like I sent Jody and
Okay.
So
that's amazing. So with because I've actually been to some of your setups just to see how it all looks per se. So can we maybe discuss, like Jody was maybe saying that before, and I think Carl was just elaborating the professionalism of it, and so maybe is there right to unpack the expectations of what or expectations you have for people if they're going to come and busk? What's expected? Maybe if we gear down to, and I think Jody said this before, like presentation, so besides the performing, what does the package look like? Does anyone want to start with that?
There you go, Jody.
Me? Okay, that's all right then. Yeah, it's like if you're a professional musician and you rock up to a gig, you want to look the part. The venues, paying your money, and you're supposed to do your thing. You're supposed to be an entertainer, not a busker per se who stands out on the beach. I'm not knocking those guys, but our business, self-managed artists, are looking for professional musicians. We supply these venues professional musicians. So, we as a company need to also put forth that professionalism in look and act, and in all our makeups, making sure that all our the public liability insurances all locked in. All the artists have a banner. The speakers, the sound system that's rolling through. So being professional is not just for the public, but it's also to supply our venues who we look after, who actually allow us these spots within their centres. So, we need to make sure that our artists are also up to scratch. So, because they're the ones that are presenting us, self-managed artists, as a business. So, if we can keep that across the board, professional all the way, we're not going to have a problem. Once we start dropping those those standards, then, we run into problems.
Yeah, and I like what you said there about the equipment. So maybe what about the sound equipment? So do you have like a control unit or something like that you expect everyone to use, or what does that look like?
Where you go, boys?
Okay, upstairs.
So we learned very early on. Like I'm a tone maniac, so, as you can probably appreciate yourself. And my guitar, I love tone, and I get that tone from one Pro Busking speaker. And once I really dialed into it, was anything else, and Carl got his, and we both had the same opinion. So we decided to mandate that piece of kit for everybody joining us. That's the piece of kit you need to get onto our work sites. It's the same as any professional work site you go onto. The employer or the organisation will mandate the type of equipment you need, and unless you've got it, you don't get onto those work sites. It's kind of like that with us, but we know it's such a beautiful piece of audio kit. It's reproduction, it's audio reproduction is flawless as far as I'm concerned. It looks great. It really looks like a harp unit. And the thing is, I don't want to go slagging off another brand, but it's a third smaller and a third lighter than the most popular brand of Busking rig out there. But it's also easily 50 to 90% better in terms of audio quality and volume at the level that it produces.
Yep.
And then
okay.
Also it's a pop-up banner, Doug. Like Carl designed that, and it's
awesome.
It's a really professional looking piece of kit. So when you combine a beautiful venue, like every one of these venues is a beautiful place. Like we have some stunning venues that we're so privileged to play in. But when you combine a quality venue with a professionally turned out artist delivering professional, top quality music and presenting themselves in that way, it's a winning formula, and that's why we have now the country's biggest retail chains approaching us to supply them with musicians rather than us hunting venues.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And
the sound in there with the acoustics on the shopping centre is amazing. Like I give myself goosebumps. It sounds so nice in those.
Yeah, wow. And do you put the speaker up or you put it on the floor?
50-50. I put mine on the stand. Probably 50 of it's on the stand. I like it so it's in my ears so I can hear how I sound. On the floor, it tend to give me a little bit more bass. It was a bit bassier, but I like to hear it. So mine's on a stand, yeah.
That's the Bose S1 Pro busking system.
Yeah.
11-hour battery life and just a beautiful sound. 2 channels, Bluetooth, and 11 pounds. 7 hours.
Actually, 6.5 kilos.
Yeah, 6.5 kilos.
Yeah, wow. It says here, sometimes example, the Muddy Farmer used to have a jam night where artists could perform, tips received, but they went kind of by the board, as most went to listen and not buy drinks on the shame it folded. Yes, fair enough. It's all about the dollar, right? Keeps ticking around. The question, or the thing that I understand about the Bose system that you guys endorse is that it electronically EQs itself, so it knows it's got a geo sensor in it, so it knows if it's on the floor or in the air.
Yeah.
And it tunes its EQ automatically. So in German design, I believe.
You put it on its side, you have it standing up. But also inside the pole hole, there's a micro switch. So as soon as the pole slides into the hole, the micro switch is activated, and then it does all the jigging, aside from the accelerometer.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. The other thing I wanted to unpack is so how does people get involved in, say, if they're a professional musician, where do they start, how do they market themselves to you, I guess? And maybe I've got 3 questions here. How do they find you? What do they do? And what is the criteria, maybe, on that you're looking for?
Email is info@smaentertainment.com.au. So that's for self-managed artists.
Info at sma.com.au.
Entertainment.com.au.
Yep.
Or 1300 SMAENT.
There you go. I just typed it in there for you. There you go. Info at smaentertainment.com.au. Hey, Jake. How you going, man? And what was the phone number? I just typed the phone number. 1300. 1300? I've lost the phone number.
SMAENT.
Oh, that's the phone number.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. There you go. Put that in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
For one,
Yeah, there is a bit of an echo. I don't know. The internet's doing something bizarre right now. Yeah, we got the echo, man. Thanks for that. So, and what are you looking for from artists? Are you looking for a set list? Are you looking for any promo? What do you guys actually?
It's our
And
reputation, and when it's a professional you don't it's not busted. And the advantage we got too is we're right throughout Queensland, right to Sunshine Coast now. We're down through New South Wales. We're in Canberra, and we're about to open all the ones up in Melbourne as the lockdown's over. So if someone's looking at busking around Australia, we can also help that person busk around Australia. There's so many opportunities. So if you know anyone in a state that's looking for work, get them to contact us as well. And we're looking at going overseas shortly as well. So
wow, that's actually a good idea.
There's also genuine opportunities.
There what? Sorry, there's also.
For instance, we just had a genuine fly-in, fly-out opportunities. Actually, drive in, drive out if you get my drift. We recently just had a Sydney busker for any professional musician come up. Just before the Queensland border shut with New South Wales, he snuck in and busked for 4.5 of those weeks full time. And when he went back to Sydney, when he decided he'd missed his girlfriend long enough, he went back.
Yep, I think that we're getting a slight delay. Can you hear? Yep.
Can you for that trip was comparable to what a normal flight
job. So I think I'm getting the gist of it for those because there's a little bit of a delay here. And so that you're saying that as a full-time job, it's actually very profitable. Yeah, right.
It's the best busking. It's the best music experience he's had since he's been alive.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
And so maybe because I'd like to do this within an hour. So if anyone's watching, if you can please ask some questions here, and we've got. Sorry, can you repeat that again? Are you hearing that, Jody?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I think I've lost him.
Something's going on.
So maybe Jody, what I think he was just Kelly was just elaborating on that is actually a viable experience to. Absolutely,
yeah. We've got there's many artists on our books that have actually they're doing this full time. This is how they're making their money, paying their bills, and putting food on the table. But also, it's giving them that opportunity to be able to go out and do those night gigs. See, because we work within the shopping centre hours, we also sort of like a booking system for the artists as well, because there's many weddings and there are a lot of artists that have been or they've approached us to find out, hey, who was this artist that played at this venue? We'd like to book them for a wedding. So that's what self-managed artists means. It's, the artists choose their day. They choose the times they want to work. They can do one day a week and, that's fine for them. But then you've got others who want to do 5-6 days a week.
Yep.
That's all good.
Okay. I think he's back. Sorry. Kelly, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. I think the internet dropped there, but Jody just picked up where you're leaving off. But so keep going, Jody. You're just saying that it's full-time job, and you said the next bit is people are getting booked for other gigs through you guys. Yeah,
like someone will be doing their shopping and they'll see one of our artists playing, and they pass that message on to a friend of theirs who's getting married, and they go, "Hey, I've got yourself a wedding singer." So we've got quite a few artists that have been booked while they're performing within the centre. So that's what self-managed artist is. The shopping centre hours are usually from 9 till 5. And then the
Yeah.
artists, if they still want to do nighttime gigs, they're most welcome to do so. They're not locked into any contract with us. That's what self-managed artist means. So,
Yep.
we provide the busking scenario for these professional musicians, but they're
Yep.
more than welcome to do their own thing afterwards.
Yep. Okay, cool. So it says here, are self-managed artists the same or as similar to independent artists? Does anyone want to answer that one?
Managed independent, whatever you want to call yourself, you're your own artist. We just hire you a spot. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, and it's like what Jody was just unpacking before is that the hours don't clash with the normal entertainment industry. It's actually business hours. But Kelly, we had internet issues just before, and you were saying genuine. I didn't only heard a little bit of it. You were saying that there's gigs.
Fly in and fly out opportunities, Doug. And I was
Wow.
relating a story. One of our friends in Sydney came up here for 7 weeks just prior to the border closure. Came up and busked with us for a solid 4.5 weeks. And
Wow.
went back after 7 weeks, and it was one of the most profitable for him, musical, I guess, journeys he's ever had.
Wow. That's amazing.
For those fly in, fly out mine workers,
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for our artists to go down to Sydney to play, or Sydney's artists to come up here. Once Melbourne removes their restrictions, it'll be possible for pretty much anyone who wants to busk around the country. We'll be in a position where we can provide them 7 days work, and they can literally make their way around this entire country, just existing off the process of the busking.
Yeah, right. That's really, really interesting. So the other thing I wanted to cover off is maybe just putting it straight on the table, like what kind of actual return can buskers expect from doing a normal gig? And I know it'll be very, very dependent on, as you said before, Kelly, like socioeconomic areas. But is there any real figures, or does it really depend on? I don't know. Or unless you're happy not to discuss that, I'm just asking, what can people expect to get in the pocket?
Look, we've been 15 weeks accumulating data sets from every artist, and cross-referencing that against the number of activations on the doors of these centres. And I'm doing that actively to try and establish some sort of pattern at the best place, time and place. But I say to everybody from the start, Carl's hourly rate now, I think, is consistently up around the 220 an hour mark. Mine is easily 180, 189 now. That's just an average. There are artists among us whose hourly rates, for instance, I know of one of our younger members, her hourly rate equates to around about somewhere around $220 an hour.
Yep.
And so
She's young.
She's very young. Like when this way, I was bullshitting yellow.
Wow.
So she is a great artist.
Yeah, she is.
So,
but
you'll
you'll be adequately rewarded for your best performances. So the onus is on you. You get a spot for 4 hours. What you choose to do with it is up to you. Like Carl and I, we're pretty aggressive operators. Like we get on our spot and we don't take a break. We go for 4 hours straight.
Don't even stop to the toilet.
Really?
Yeah. And we've done that from the start. I told him what I was doing. He's a natural at it anyway. But we put on your Kel. Oh no.
Good on you, Kel.
You have to wear Kel.
And there's better artists than me that are more than me.
But
yeah, that's interesting. I think that's really, really good.
your level of donation and reward is commensurate with what you put out. So if you're a solid, consistent, yeah, I'll smash it out for 4 hours and most of my time, you'll be adequately rewarded. But if you want to take that 45-minute, that 15-minute break every 45 minutes,
It's an hour gone.
there's an hour of it you've lost. And for every minute you're not playing, you're not earning.
You don't play, they don't play.
Yep. So, if I can just maybe even just discuss what the actual model looks like. So, do you actually get like a congregation around you for, you know, the token trophy song, or is it just people paying attention for like 30 seconds and they just pay? How does it look?
You've probably got 30 seconds to impress someone, because they do literally walk past and drop in there. Occasionally you get a kid dance for about 5 seconds with his mum, but I mean, due to COVID, the good thing we've got is they were worried about COVID and people gathering. No one gathers, people walk past, and yeah. The motto was, out of the 2,000 people that walk past us in the 4 hours, if 25% of them threw $2 in, you got 5.
Yeah, right.
People tend to give you a bit more than that. So it's yeah. And yeah, we've got artists that work for us now that don't work for us that are with us, and they won't do standard gigs anymore because they earn too much here, and they're home at night with their family. So for them, it's, for me even, like, it's the best thing I've ever done. And the shopping centres love us. The guys that are busking with us love us. The retailers love us. It's one of those businesses, win-win-win. And you know, and when all this doom and gloom's on, we're still busking. Like, it's and I can tell you, it's not about the money. Not one bad comment I've ever had since I've been there. The love that people show me, I can't even put money on. The feeling of gratitude I get. The people saying, we have one artist, the lady put a thing in his thing saying this was her last day. She was going to end it, but she heard his beautiful voice, and thank you because I'm still here. And she put some money on the card and put his face. Like, it's, we're touching people in a way, and they're giving back. Not like the pub where you get those drunk guys. Oh, mate, now you chisel, mate. You know, we don't get that anymore. Thanks, Gordon.
Yep, thanks, Gordon.
If I could only explain to you that what you get out of it, the security we get of being in a shopping centre, the security, beautiful people shopping, no one's drunk, there's no idiots loitering around you. It's and you can work as much as you want. Like I said, we can give you a gig 7 days a week, twice a day if you've got that in you. If you can play 8 hours, come play 8 hours. The reward is there for those that want to work. And we even had a guy that wasn't a professional muser. He was an airline pilot. His story has gone everywhere. He said to me, he got a job at Audi packing shelves for, I think it was like $20 an hour or something, $25 an hour. And he also had another job doing something else. He said, you know, if I can come and earn that same money but doing something I love, playing my guitar, and I only earn $25 an hour after I've paid my expenses, he said, I'm stoked. He started earning $50 an hour when he first started, but he worked on his craft, he practiced all the time. Towards the end there, he was well over $500. I think his record was over $1,000 a day.
Wow.
And he said, I'm doing something I love. And he goes, I'm going home, I'm home with my kids in the afternoon. He goes, like, it's amazing. So, you know, we've given opportunities to people, and when there's nothing out there, there's not a lot of people giving you gigs. And I find when they have rang up today, are you available? What I get is, like, due to COVID, it's COVID prices. Would you do 4 hours for $300? I think COVID prices, the plumber doesn't give me COVID prices. No one else is giving me COVID prices. Why am I getting COVID prices? And you're lugging all your PA in, you're lugging everything into a full gig where you're entertaining people. You know, I'm rocking in with a little Bose speaker, my guitar, and a microphone stand, and I'm loving it. And I'm playing the first few songs and making pretty good points. So,
yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other, I've just got a couple of questions here. It says here, cool. Okay, bye. I'm going to go tune my guitar for $220 an hour. Okay. Do venues, shopping centres, etc., pay self-managed artists entertainment for the workload and expense that is involved in the booking process?
No. So we charge them $50 for that slot for the 4 hour section. But in that, there's contracts that we do. There's a lot of back-end stuff that we do. But
if
you look at the pop-up site we're in, you can go and organise your own one. It's going to cost you $1,000 for a week for that site. We're going to charge you $50 per slot, and you keep everything you make. but we don't own you. We're pretty much renting you the spot. We do all the contracts. We make sure the stuff's right. We organise all the banners for you. We set everything up for you and make it so easy that we put you in and you play.
Yep. Okay, and we got another question here. Do you ever book visual artists to demo, display, sell their art in similar situation?
Visual artists.
Like
No,
painting.
Painting.
Okay, cool. And a pilot stacking shelves? Well, there's no plane jobs at the moment, is there?
Yeah, last time I was coming down. 18 months is off.
Oh, wow. So, and what was the other thing I wanted to cover off is...
And actually, in that, I actually got all the pilots for a little while, jobs at Audi and Woolworths stacking shelves. It was going well for 3 weeks. Then Audi's turned around and said, look, our guys are missing out. They've got to eat too. So they actually didn't give him any more shifts. Hence, we were there to catch him and give him the opportunity to feed his family. So it was really good.
Right. I've just got to learn more lyrics. There's a good point. Are they performing from iPad or from, complete memory, or what's going on there?
The artist is different. I use an iPad. Kelly doesn't at all. I've got Alzheimer's, so I can't remember.
You keep forgetting you got it, mate.
Yeah.
So if you work for us, if you do a double shift, we'll move you in 4 hours. Not because we don't like you, but for the retailers, we don't want the same person on that slot for 8 hours. So you can do 2 shifts, but we'll move you on the other side of that shopping centre, so you're not driving anywhere. Because we've got multiple spots in each shopping centre, so we'll just move you to the next slot.
Yeah, right. That's good. Yeah, right. And maybe just the last question then is, what's some of the feedback besides, just the monetary thing for the musicians? Like, are they enjoying it, that it's, I guess as being a performing artist myself, I'm doing, as you guys all know, I'm doing a lot of live streaming because I'm addicted to it. Like, there's no other way to it, because I just really love playing. That's it. So I'm just asking just the other benefits of, engaging a performer to actually being able to perform. Is there any stories about that?
There's too many.
That's probably another whole show.
There's more than the money. Way more than the money.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And Jody, any
gratitude?
Yep. That's good. And Jody, did you want to add anything to that question?
The boys have pretty much covered everything. So I did see a question come up about the minimum age.
Yes.
Self-managed artists, the minimum age for us is 18, but that's put on us by the venues. So, 18 plus professional musicians, maybe some other venues that come along later on. We could go for the younger artists, but at the moment it's 18 plus.
And this one here, electrical acoustic.
It's predominantly acoustic, but we have keyboard players with electric keyboards as well, or battery operated. But as you know, Doug, I play an electric jazz arch top, but
Yep.
I don't use any pedals. I just use the natural tone of the guitar through PA straight out of the bass, and it's a sound that I know pleasure. So yeah,
Okay.
Small levels with an instrument. Small levels.
if you've got good control over your level, then there's nothing that will preclude you playing an electric guitar over an acoustic, as long as your levels are in control.
And
our comment
Sorry?
normally is, we'll never complain if you're too quiet. They'll always complain if you're too loud.
and I guess maybe the last technical question before we wrap it up is, looping. I actually use a live looper, and when I do my acoustic shows and blah blah blah. So, have you seen any really cool, crazy, off the grid battery inventions? So they can run. Because I think, here we go, battery amp needed. So obviously it's off the grid. So back in the day, I used to hook up a car battery to a big trolley, and it'd have a 12 volt to 240 volt inverter. probably very, very unstable. This is years ago when I did busking, but that was in the valley, so most of the time you had to fight to keep your spot. So it's like many, many years ago. But so I'm just asking, have you guys seen any really cool high tech setups?
Yep. Yeah, heaps. Ash Piro's got one of the best setups I've ever seen.
Who's that? Sorry.
Ash Piro, he's the artist I was talking about who came up from New South Wales, also formerly, currently the Brothers Calling band as well. Michael Hickey has a really impressive pedal board setup. I can't remember what brand it is. And also, we've got Carl and I also have a really good battery operated pedal board.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Pedal board is like battery.
I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'd be really interested to maybe unpack the. Maybe we could do that as another thing about, having off the grid electronics for musicians. I think because obviously if a busking is a thing, and as you said, the business is getting better and better, there's going to be a demand for that. Yeah.
Like the battery powered technology now is so advanced, and I would imagine in a year the stuff we're using will be obsolete because it will be surpassed by something even more impressively tech. But for instance, that little Process One, that's 150 watts.
Wow.
I haven't lost power over 10 hours yet. That's the longest I've run my speaker. And then so I run. Yeah, this is the pedal board we're talking about. I'm going to go. So I run my RC30 loop and my BDE Acoustimax preamp CI, and I have never had an issue yet. And this thing is just.
So it comes in its own bag, so you can leave the pedals on. And what it has is, it has all these channels at the back.
Yeah.
I've got two sides, so each side lasts 11 hours, and it comes with two sides. So you can put all your pedals on there with a velvet, with a
Velcro. Yeah.
And then it comes in this beautiful bag. And you leave the pedals on there, you stick it back in, you cut the bag up, and it's like a backpack as well. And you stick that on the back.
So what kind of battery is it, Carl? Like, is it a lithium battery, or is it little batteries inside?
Have a look at
the whole thing. The whole unit is the Ally battery.
And have a look at the points in it. Like, it's got everything you'll ever need. You don't even read it.
Yeah.
Up to one volt. Like, it's amazing, this technology, and it lasts 11 hours per bank. So
my one's only half as big as that.
Don't you hate that? Very good.
I carry all of my kit, one trip from the car in two hands.
Yep, same.
And
wow,
like I finished the busking day and had a deck acoustic session at Drum and RSL. I just went with what I had in the car, my battery powered rig, and the people right at the other end of the in my rig. So.
Worsley Snipes in the house. Wow, there you go. Well, that was really cool, Carl, because what what charging? So do you just charge it when you get home, or is it USB charging?
Yep, plug it in your mains. Plug it in your mains, then you got 11 hours per side, so all up 22 hours of busking on that one pedal board. So you'll never
right.
So everything is 100% operated. That way we don't have to worry about tag and tests and making sure that everyone's got their things tagged. We can set you up in any pop-up stall, so we don't need pop-ups with battery, with power. So all our sites, easy to do.
You should get us along for a shred in the shed so we can demo our kit for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'll be good. Shred on the batteries. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah. But what's that, sorry?
Battery shed.
Yes, I like that. I think that's really good too. As you were just saying about workplace health and safety, running any kind of lead these days, there comes insurance liability, right? So if someone has a situation,
Absolutely. Yep.
so I think I really like that idea that everything is independent, and I guess the only leads that are run are actually only on from your pedal board or guitar board to the amp, obviously. So very, very good. Well, is there any? We've already done an hour, so is there any closing comments that you guys? Well, maybe we start with Jody. Any closing comments about people, looking towards busking, or what do you think they might have to do? Obviously the songs, but I'm just talking about, they've already got their thing together, and what should they do to just go to the extra step to make it happen? Words of advice.
Look, I think Kelly and Carl would be the better guys to answer that question. These guys are, the pro musos. I'm just the guy behind the scenes, doing all the invoicing. So I'll let them take over that one. They can answer that for you.
Okay, cool. Or is there any closing comments at all then, Jody?
Man, if anybody's interested, if you're a professional musician, you're out of work, give us a call, self-managed artist, and send through a couple of your, recent videos of your your pro set, and we'll take a look, and Kelly and the boys will take a look at that and go from there.
Awesome, thank you, sir. And Kelly and Carl, is there any closing comments? And maybe if you want to, we've got a question here. How much is the pedal board?
Okay. 250, I think. 254 delivered.
250.
I can send you the link. His market is mine. So if you want, I can send you the link, and you can order.
Okay, cool.
And straight up, really well packed.
Awesome.
What I like to say is, look, when I first bust, I sat out in the car for an hour and absolutely shit my pants, thinking I can't do this. I actually drove off, got to the roundabout, and then thought about my kids, thinking I've got no job, I've got no money. Get back in there. I drove back around, shut my eyes, played. I looked down, and the lady put $50 straight in my case. Said, "All the best, darling." I went, "Oh." And then, you know what? If I could tell you what I knew now, there's no artist, even if you're gigging at the moment, there's no artist that wouldn't give this to go big.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, there's more than money that you get out of this. It's something you can't get playing in a pub. So come join us.
It's an intangible thing.
Yeah, I really, really like that. Yeah, that's great. And we've got, here's a question. Do you actually have solo and duos, or is it just solos?
No, they get duos as well.
Okay, cool.
Both solos and duos.
Awesome. That's awesome. And congrats on the successful business, and thanks to everyone. All right, well, I just want to say thank you, everyone. So awesome insight. This has been really, really cool. So I hope everyone that...
At the moment, we've got one duo that we're...
Yeah, right.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, right. Cool. Well,
just
you never know.
Back online.
Yeah, just come back online. Yep. Yeah. It's been dropping in and out.
Just drop out.
Yeah. But that's all right. But please stay on.
Sorry.
But just...
Can I share some comments today?
Yep.
Just one closing comment, if I may. If you're a full-time unemployed user, or you're adversely affected by COVID, please get in touch with us. It's info@smaentertainment.com.au, or it's 1300 SMA-ENT. And just have a look at what we've got to offer, because if you're not working as regularly as you were, Carl said it all night, we both said it, we can give you 7 days worth a week, and it's rewarding work that it'll actually give you something else to develop your chops on. Because I know my chops have gone through the roof since.
Yeah.
And you get
awesome.
To choose the day you want to work, or the days you want to work, and the hours you want.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Tell me another musician that gets to do this.
Yeah, that's right.
We did actually had a muso that gave us how their availables, and I still and I went, no. And I went, well, they give me that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Morpheus now. That's funny.
Morpheus, not Wesley Snipes.
Thanks, Gary.
Cheers, Gary.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Okay, well, please stand by, guys, and please wave, but stay on the line for a sec.
Mr.
Awesome.
Anderson.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on the show, and please stand by for 10 seconds, and as I just wrap this up. And I just want to say thanks to everyone that's watching, and please make sure you check it out. If that is you'd like to get engaged with these guys, please look them up. And it's all in the feed. I typed it in the feed and the phone number, and I'm sure they will jump on and type it in where to find it out. But thank you very much for watching, and check out the Shred in the Shed that's coming up very soon on Saturday. And there's my Facebook account, and there's my YouTube account. I need a friend, and there's the PayPal thing, and yes, rock and roll. So thanks very much for supporting and sharing this. And this is really, really insightful information, because these guys are actually doing something different. So necessity is the mother of invention. So all these talented musos need another outlet, and these guys have got it going on. See you next time. Or not. I've got this really cool intro. Well, I thought it was cool. What do you think?